Hello everyone, and welcome to Endgame Escapades, my brand new channel that I decided to start, mostly for fun, and since I love playing games and I wanted to try something new. So, for my first Let's Play series, I decided to go for a good old Pokemon challenge, because why not? Now, I have done a few Nuzlockes in the past, and I decided for this time it would be nice to do something new. I've been wanting to actually try a Monotype challenge for a long time, but never really gone around to it. It's funny considering I even heard of the Monotype challenge before the Nuzlocke. Anyway, I've always thought it would be fun pretending to be a gym leader. So, I thought this would be nice to do for our first Let's Play series. I will be playing on the 4th Gen Platinum game. Since I figured whichever type I end up with, there should be a pretty good variety of Pokemon I can use. So, without further ado, let's get started on the rules I'll be using for this playthrough. Alright, rule number 1. A Pokemon type will randomly be chosen for me by random.org, and I can only use Pokemon with that type throughout the game. Now, originally, it suggests that you can pick your own type, your preference if you'd like to use. And I could have done that. I like the fire types, dragon, grass, several different types I like. But I decided, since there are still a lot of Pokemon that I've never gotten the chance to use before, and types I barely ever use, why not randomly let it be chosen for me? So I thought that should be interesting, and kind of like the Nuzlocke, it is out of your hands, and you just have to play with the cards you're dealt. Alright, rule number 2. My starter will also be chosen by random.org, and my starter will be chosen from a pool of all the possible unevolved or basic Pokemon of the previous chosen type. And I figured that way, with a lot of types, there's a chance that you don't even run into them for quite a while, and I didn't really want to play the game for a while with Pokemon that I wasn't even going to be able to use by the end. So I am actually going to be using a randomizer to be able to change the starters into whichever one I'm supposed to have. And of course, I will have the most basic version of that Pokemon, so I will not be getting the fully evolved ones or anything like that. So, rule number 3. No duplicates of Pokemon. And I chose this one just because I didn't really want a team of all one type of Pokemon, or one Pokemon in particular, like a entire team of Rattatas or something like that. Also, no 2 Pokemon that are from the same evolutionary family. And exceptions to this rule include trade evolution Pokemon like Gengar or Machamp. And I wanted to exclude them because I'm playing on a ROM, and all the time I've played on ROMs, I've never been able to link trade Pokemon for Pokemon who only evolve for the trading. So I figured if I'm lucky enough to be able to run into or snag a Gengar or a Machamp, and I already have a previous evolution of it that I am never going to be able to evolve on my own, I wanted the opportunity to be able to get the highest evolution of that Pokemon that normally I wouldn't be able to with the ROM. So I will be having an exception for the link trade evolution Pokemon, and especially since when you're limited to a specific type of Pokemon, some types, even in the later generations, there's not many of them. So you kind of need all that you can get. And continuing on that idea, I can use Pokemon that aren't my type, but will become my type once they evolve. An example would be Nincada, if you have a flying type challenge, since it will evolve into a Ninjask later on. Rule number 5. Dual types are allowed, and examples are using Houndoom and Skuntank for a dark type challenge, and that lets some variety into your monotype challenge. so that hopefully it won't be completely impossible to get past certain points. Rule number 6, HM slaves are allowed, but they cannot be used in battle. In a lot of previous playthroughs of games, I sometimes have problems where I do not want to teach my regular team those pesky HMs, so I always like having a Pokemon that I can choose to teach those to, but not actually have on my battle roster if I choose. So those are allowed as long as I don't fight with them. Rule number 7. I will be allowed to use up to 3 healing items per battle, no revives. And for that idea, I wanted to kind of mimic the gym leaders that you fight in the games, that they will start healing their Pokemon when they're in the red with potions and full restores and things, up to a certain amount of times. I wasn't actually able to find the exact amount for platinum that they tend to use if you let them just keep healing. So I kind of guessed and figured about 3 per battle is about right. And of course, since gym leaders do not use revives, thank goodness, on their team, I will not be able to use them while I'm in battle either. However, they are fair game if I'm in the middle of a cave or something outside a battle and I don't want to run all the way back to the Pokemon Center. Rule number 8. I can only fight the gym leaders, or Elite Four, or Champion, with as many Pokemon as they use to fight me. Extra Pokemon will temporarily be boxed. I always thought that idea was interesting since I grew up watching the original cartoon shows of Pokemon, and when Ash fought the gym leaders, he was limited to usually around 3-on-3 matches. Even though he would have a team of 6 Pokemon on him, he could only choose 3, and the gym leaders would only have 3. And in the games, especially early on, you run into a lot of gym leaders that have 2 or 3 Pokemon while you fight them with a team of 6. So, since I will be mimicking what it's like being a gym leader, I can only fight those opponents with the same amount of Pokemon they will be fighting me with. Rule number 9. Whenever I lose a fight to another trainer, or gym leader, or Elite Four, or champion, which will be the triggering of a black or white out depending on which series of games you're playing. Basically when your whole team is wiped out and it says you blacked out and ran back to the Pokemon Center, it is considered them beating me, and that person will win my badge. You will see where I have actually created a little badge for my character, and I will be keeping track of how many times somebody actually defeats my team and technically wins my badge. And I thought that would be a fun little addition to the side of doing this run of pretending to be a gym leader or training to become a gym leader. And rule number 10, no legendaries. That is all. And of course that is because legendaries are usually so completely overpowered that, it's not quite as fun when you're trying to have a challenge game. So, that is all the rules I will be working with right now. And after consulting random.org, it looks like the type I will be playing with is the poison type. Now this should be pretty interesting because in previous games, though I have used Pokemon like Zubat or Oddish or Parasect, I've never actually beaten a game with any poison types in my party, I believe. So it will be a new experience trying to use a complete team of poison types that quite a few I am not familiar with. And it looks like for my starter, lucky me, random.org has chosen Bellsprout for me. Definitely not one of my favorites, but I'll make it work somehow. So, yes, Bellsprout will be in my party throughout the entire game. The only one I cannot switch out. So we will see how that goes. And up next is a little preview of the badge I created. And I looked at some of the other game badges and everything, and just kind of had fun. Tried to make a little something for a poison type badge for me. So this will be showing up on the layout for when I play the game. And I hope you join me when I start up my gameplay. See you in the next video!